who does this remind me of? And on the PGA, like if I had to give this guy turn him into a PGA Tour player, who would it be? And I thought if Bryson DeChambeau wasn't good at golf, he'd be a cult leader.
This week on Sandbagger Sessions, Stefan has a confession that might put him into the old man category. Justin Rose does something absolutely baffling 2 weeks before a major, and we settle the debate once and for all. What actually makes a great golf trip? Stick around, you might be guilty of ruining one. Let's get into it.
Just did a bunch All right, we're good. Hey, welcome back.
Thanks.
Welcome back into the studio.
Yeah, I got banned from your house last week. We claimed there's other things going on. Catherine would let me in.
Yeah. She is here tonight, but she's out the back. But
she's just keeping an eye on
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a statement after your intro for the record.
Oh, I go for it. Go for it.
Do you want to introduce the podcast first?
Oh, hey everyone. Yeah, good night.
There we go. Cool.
What are we on? Well, I always lose count. Episode 21. Welcome back. We are back. We are back together.
Mm-hmm.
We're the two best friends that anyone could have. Last week that was. I hope you enjoyed last week. That was I say every conversation with Ryan. I've only had those two, but just really, really good. I said it already, but thanks again for getting him on. Hopefully not the last that we'll have with him, but yes, we are back together in person this week, and hopefully the quality on the edit last week wasn't that bad. But you said, what's your statement? What do you got going on?
I do have a statement. I want to address some rumors that have gone out, and just kind of get ahead of these before it goes.
I think I know what's coming.
Before it goes a little too far. So the other day, I was out for a walk with my dog and my little baby girl, and it was giveaway day in Kingston. So people just, if they have shit to give away, they had it on the end of their driveway. Yeah. And at the end of this driveway, as I'm walking by, I see a pretty mint condition Motocaddy. And I say, are you giving that away? And he's like, yeah, I just got a new one. I was like, is there anything wrong with it? And he said, no,
the guy was there.
He was there, yeah. He's like, no, it just wants to veer right. So maybe you can figure that out. I'm like, all right, cool. So I walked home and thought about it. I was like, I'm going to get that fucking Motocaddy. So I just want to get ahead of it. I understand how this looks. I understand how it might make you all feel about me. But I think I might be an electric pushcart guy for a while.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I don't know. I don't know if I have yet.
Well, it's like you've done a complete 180 because we were just taught you. I've never seen you actually, I think I've seen you push a pushcart once or twice. You don't like pushing. You like carrying.
I don't.
So now you've gone full circle and you're gone.
This is where I might be closer, because why I don't like pushing is when you get to a green, you gotta work around things, and now I can walk across the green and I can just use my little remote and it will go where I want it to go.
This is like what situation is like this? They're a great idea. There's convenience. There's everything going for it, and I agree with you. I like the idea of being like, well, my ball's on the other side of the green. I don't want to walk my cart. All of that. But for me, it's a strict minimum age of 50.
So what I'm hearing from you is that you're more of a manual guy. So you think things should be done manually.
I drive stick.
You shouldn't have any toys per se that have electronics built into them that may improve your life. Improve performance is what I'm hearing. And I think that makes you a bigot, personally. And I think you're looking down on me for this. And I
absolutely am looking down on you.
I haven't used it yet. I did look at it. It seems to be working fine.
You haven't taken it for a rip around the block?
No, but I looked up the value of this thing. This thing's like $2,500 bucks, brand new.
Yeah.
I played golf earlier this week with my close personal friend, your acquaintance. His name's Sir Duthie to you. And obviously James has one.
Yeah.
So he inspired me, and
he's 60.
James. Yeah, no, don't do that. I don't think he's 60 yet. But showed to James. James and I took on a my good buddy Brad Lawrence, pro at Hamilton, and another buddy Matt in a 2v2 match out at Copetown Woods. Brad Lawrence smoking the golf ball all over the fucking planet. I don't know if you saw the video. He hit one fairway all day.
Yeah.
He said he has not hit a fairway there in over 10 years.
Really?
He plays it about once or twice a year. He said and it's wide.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played Copetown.
No, I haven't.
It is wide.
Yeah. I saw those clips. It looks phenomenal. So yeah, shout out Copetown Woods if you're in, I guess southeastern Ontario.
Yeah, it's right in Hamilton, just outside of Hamilton.
Yeah.
But you and I are playing golf Thursday, and I think I might bring it out. I don't know if you wanted to walk on Thursday or not, but
we'll see.
If we walk, I think I'm going to test it out and see.
Okay.
See who
I'll
I
give
am.
you no end of shit, but I'll probably be jealous at the same time.
Totally
It's
fair.
one of those situations.
Totally fair. And if I hate it, I'm going to pay it forward. I will pay it forward to somebody that needs it. So there's my statement.
There's just, okay, just a 5-minute statement. That's fine. I'm glad you're getting in front of it. I'm glad you're owning up to it. And you're just owning it.
Yeah,
but,
I'm owning it.
Yeah, I was surprised when I got that text.
Yeah. We got a lot of golf this week.
We got so much to cover. We mentioned last week.
Just us playing golf. We got your bachelor party this weekend.
Yeah.
The
this
weather
weekend
looks absolutely fucking horrific.
It's actually it's got better. It's not going to be warm, but I don't.
Be cold.
It's gonna be like 10, which is like what's that? Like I guess like 45, 50 Fahrenheit for those of you
a little
listening.
bit of rain.
I don't think. I think we're gonna be dry.
Okay.
So, and I'm
Did
the,
you like go lick your
it's
finger and put in the sky today?
It's not ideal, but we'll have some maybe some Fireball or something to keep us a little warm. So
maybe.
But yes, there's lots to go for us. Lots that we want to talk about today. Obviously, last week we kind of skipped over a few things with the interview with Ryan, but I guess first thing, just our recap. And actually, terrible introduction, by the way. So what we're going to do today, I should start with that. We've got this weekend coming up. Later in the year, we've got Scotland. Last year we did Ireland. And so we thought it would be a good idea to break down if you're thinking about a trip or you've been on a trip, like what makes a good golf trip.
And this is completely subjective.
Oh,
I was going to say it's objective, but this is, I made a list of 5, my top 5, and you're going to interject in different things as we go along, but ranking 5 to 1, what I think is the most important thing. Now there's 10 other things below it, but 5 is important and 1 is being the most important.
I like it. So that's what we're going to get into. But again, we'll do what we always do and take a look at this past week, this past weekend. And we don't need to spend too much time on it. But the first thing I do want to touch on is, look, I'm sure there's a lot of critics of this. The field strength, it's a team event, it's a hit and giggle, it's place in the calendar. At the same time, the Fitzpatrick brothers winning and Matt Fitzpatrick hitting that bunker shot to secure his brother's PGA Tour card is absolutely sick.
It was. I mean, I'm not going to counter that. Like, you could tell it meant a lot to his brother that now he has a PGA Tour card. It was cool in the moment, but then it got me thinking, I was like, should you really get a PGA Tour card if you get a sponsor's invite to a tournament?
Well, I mean, look, I think there's so many different aspects of this. The fact that it's a team event is different. Like, I always, because last year, was it last year Ben Griffin and Andrew Novak won it? And so, and Ben Griffin was like, I'm a PGA Tour winner. And I was kind of like,
Alex Fitzpatrick has the same amount of PGA Tour wins as Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, exactly.
And both are gimmicky events.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A 30. This one's probably harder to win than what Tommy won.
I agree with what you're saying. I don't know whether you should get a card or whether you shouldn't, or certainly I don't think, if you go out, if you're a sponsor's exemption and you go and win the Puerto Rico Open, like those are the rules, right? And
I don't agree with them.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I necessarily disagree with them, but what I am saying, if we look at the positives, Alex knew coming into this week, if they happened to win, he would get a PGA Tour card, and they pulled that off, which is the cool part.
Impressive.
The shitty part is it was a team event. Like you say, it's kind of weird that it's treated the same as, you get a sponsor's invite to the, do they even do sponsors invite at signature events? I'm not sure if they do.
No, I don't think, I don't know if he'll get into.
No, he'll get the bare minimum.
I don't think he's getting into anything for a while.
Yeah.
But,
he does get a bunch of, I think he gets into at least one major. He gets into the players. And so, but anyway, regardless of what you think, there's obviously there's a bunch wrong with it. And we've already spoken about the PGA Tour schedule. You've got to think that the Zurich Classic is one of those ones is going to get the cull. Who knows? They just announced the Hawaii swing is going away. But if you ignore all of that, I mean, I don't think you could have picked a cooler winner and a cooler way to win.
It was a very cool way to win.
Yeah.
I don't know how they were
that bunker shot
odds-on
was
favorites.
nasty.
I don't know how either one of us didn't pick them. Both of our guys missed the cut.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even touch on that.
I don't even know what we should have to do for that. That was tough. You didn't even know there was a cut, which I think is actually worse. So I think I should get to double my 0.
Oh, you get a double 0?
Yeah, so it was obviously tough. Now, it was a great tournament. I think, it was exciting. I think Nelly picking up her third major was awesome.
Yep.
Watched a little bit on Thursday, and I was like, holy shit, she's on fire. There was a lot going on earlier in the week at the LPGA, the Chevron. So they have the new venue, which it is what it is. Shout out to them for making it tough. It was playing around 6,800 yards this week. However, it was soft. They basically Tuesday got rained out, and if you basically didn't play in the Pro-Am on Wednesday, which is dumb that they do that in a major, that's neither here nor there. It's actually here. It's dumb. But there were many players in this field that didn't see the golf course until they teed it up on Thursday because they weren't in that in the Pro-Am. So Nelly going out
from 6,800. Wow.
Yeah, Nelly going out firing 65, 65. Which last year was the fact she didn't win last year is crazy. And the year before she won, I don't know, 8 times or something ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, she had a pretty bum year last year.
Yeah, she's only, so far this year, she's, I think, played in 4 tournaments. She's only lost to 2 people. In those 4 tournaments. So pretty impressive early on. The Chevron, it is what it is at this point. But we got a great major season ahead for the LPGA. So good start of the year, and hopefully Nelly picks up a couple more wins because from like a major perspective, because there's like a lot on the line for her. You at this point in her career, you kind of expected her to have more than 3. And maybe this is the monkey off her back. Maybe this is the Rory McIlroy. She's opened up, and but yeah, it was a great tournament, and she dominated from start to finish. She basically just she could have played with just her putter on the last day. Basically.
Yeah. What did she have, a 5-stroke lead coming into Sunday? I think?
It was just in her swing. Like that might be one of the best swings in golf.
And I saw them breaking it down in slow-mo, and she's ripped as well. Like you can see just
she's skinny ripped.
Yeah.
She's a giant too.
Yeah, she's tall.
She's
over 6
she's got to be
foot?
6'1".
Yeah.
She was beside me at the lunch buffet one day at the Cane Open, and I was just like, I felt so small. I felt so small.
You are like 5'6", though.
I just measured, actually. Now without hair, it's 5'8". I always said 5'9", but it's straight up 5'8". Yeah, it sucks.
Just going through the list here. Off the golf course, interestingly enough, because we've got the Cadillac coming up this week, returning to the Blue Monster, Trump Doral, and Justin Rose are going to have new clubs in the bag. So I wonder if it makes him go faster, like faster ball speed. But no, he's playing McLaren golf clubs. You did hear that right. McLaren, like the car manufacturer, the Formula One team, like whatever you know them by, making golf clubs.
I'll say this to start. They look cool. They look
great.
They look great.
Yeah.
I'm sure McLaren isn't poor. I'm sure they've put a lot of research and development into it. Also, Ian Poulter's posted he's now playing them too.
Oh, really?
Which was weird because I thought he was always a Ferrari guy because he always had all those Ferraris.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm giving this a full-blown double bogey.
Wow.
Justin Rose has this huge resurgence in his career at 45. We have a major in 2 weeks at a course where he has won at before. And he's deciding to change his golf clubs 2 weeks before a major. We have seen Justin Rose do this with Honma. He had Honma clubs for a couple of years, and it was awful.
It was a disaster.
It was a disaster. The worst golf that guy's played probably in his whole career. We saw Bubba Watson try something weird with the Volvic ball. At one point, right? Like there is a reason these big manufacturers are always in the bags of tour pros. And again, I'm not saying McLaren hasn't been 5 years in the making. I don't know. I had no idea until I just saw it. I didn't usually see, a USGA report, and it may have been a USGA report, but with like, I don't know, white pipe as the name of the company. I'm just looking out your window, and that's all I saw was a white pipe. I really wish it came up with something else.
Some sort of code name.
It's just questionable. Why? What's the point? The guy's been a free agent from a club's perspective for a while now and playing the best golf of his life.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I mean, there's got to be a contract.
There's got to be an insane contract.
But I mean, in terms of when you say why, like I'm sure maybe there was a date picked and it was like if we meet XYZ criteria, you'll put it in. So but I agree with you. I'm of the same thing. And like you say, McLaren has, actually, they didn't say the number of years, but they literally said Justin Rose has been working with them for a number of years in research and development. But then, like you say, I mean, it's the same with anything that is specialized. Imagine if Titleist wanted to go and build a Formula One car. They put 5 years. Well, we've already seen that, right? With Cadillac, they've put hundreds of millions of dollars in, 2 years of research and development, and they suck. And so Titleist, Callaway, all the TaylorMade, all these brands, how long have they been doing this, right? And it's just, I mean, it'll be really interesting, nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know where you're ever going to buy one of these. It's not like McLaren clubs are.
You can imagine.
You have to go to a McLaren dealership.
Yeah, you can also imagine the price tag on some of these are going to be.
Look up Mura Golf, and you'll kind of get a good sense of the price tag.
Yeah, exactly.
But people are going to buy them. I'm sure you will. That's something you would do.
I probably would buy them.
Yeah, you definitely would buy a McLaren. I got a McLaren. What kind? 4-iron, 5-iron, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Or maybe if I get rich and you buy a car, maybe you get a free set of clubs if you buy a car.
Maybe.
That's the right deal.
Hey, if they want to sponsor us, I'd drive a McLaren around. Nothing would be.
If I had to.
Nothing would be less reasonable than a McLaren in Canadian winter. Yeah, I'm gonna need with 2 car seats in the back.
I'm gonna need a bigger garage.
Yeah, exactly.
Other big news this past week. Back on the Ryder Cup. So Jim Furyk is back next year at Adare Manor, and I haven't been involved in golf long enough to the level that I am now to sort of really understand the history, but. It's the US seems to really be in dire straits, and the last time Jim Furyk was captain, it was not good, and it seems like and we've spoken about the Keegan pick before. Nothing against Keegan, he was put in a really, really difficult spot, and at this point, what are the odds for the US to win at Adare Manor next year have got to be like plus 10,000. Like it's not looking good.
Yeah, I think the plan all along was probably Tiger to do this.
Yep.
Now Tiger has some other things going on. The fact that they hadn't even named a captain until now really shows.
Is that pretty late?
Yeah, it's definitely late. You're under 2 years away, right? Usually it's pretty quick after the last one.
Okay.
It's they're kind of just going back to the old boys club again, right? And I thought it was going to be. It could have been Furyk or Matt Kuchar or Sneds. Or
I saw Stuart Sink being thrown around.
Or anybody but Zach Johnson. But yeah, I have nothing against Jim Furyk, but he doesn't seem like a guy that and we're going to talk about Full Swing in a moment, but after watching some of the stuff, the videos of Full Swing, I kind of went back and forth. Was Keegan a good captain? Was he not? I really have no idea. But it just seems like the U.S. has no plan, and it just doesn't feel like it matters to.
Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's just like, oh, we'll do it type of. I have no feelings. I just don't think. I don't know what you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, we spoke about it, I think, in our second episode, and when you listen to the way the Europeans are breaking down their pairings and their matchups, and there's obviously it's a data-driven match given the nature of it, but just the amount of thought and process that went into it, combined with the fact, as you say, what it seems to mean to these Europeans, whereas the US is kind of like, oh yeah, those they seem good, like throw them out, go for it. It just. Yeah, they just seem to be operating on a different level.
My only thought might be is that, so he's been an assistant 4 times, he's been a captain once before, obviously lost in that, is that maybe they're trying to do something different behind the scenes, but they want a guy that's been there that can do the stuff that they don't want to be training him on the basic stuff, and that it's like, okay, here's the big crazy ideas that we are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on board for that? And the basics of whatever, the shampoo and they talk about that with Luke Donald, like the shampoo and the hotels and all that. Not that they have to worry about that. They're going to be staying at the most world-class hotel in Ireland. Like you can't even, I don't know if I said this on the podcast. When we were going to Ireland, I emailed them and I was like, hey, we're coming to Ireland. Like, any chance we can play the course? You drop like, I'm a PGA professional.
And just for context, Stefan is a PGA professional.
Yeah, so I just emailed everybody, basically. Just why not, right? Yeah, we're going to be there. Like, we'll make a detour. We'll change our flight. Yeah, I don't care if they're going to say come, right? Yeah. The email I got back was something, I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty close to, hi, Stefan, appreciate your intrigue. No, thank you. Like, it was like, it wasn't even like, no, we can't make that happen. It was just like, no, we're not going to open that up. Like, whatever it was, like, all right, cool. Like it's a very exclusive place. Unless you're dropping, like, I don't even know. I think
it's like 1,500 euros a night.
Let's
or
look it up. It's insane.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, it just, I guess potentially the one, if you want to do a bit of a shit sandwich and talk about the good, Jim Furyk's been there before. He doesn't yet know what it takes to win, but he knows what it means to lose. So, learning from those mistakes, learning from that loss is, I'm not sure what else you'd do at this point.
Yeah. So it's about 700 euros to stay there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much golf is.
Yeah. So then you got golf on top. So you're looking at well over 1,000 euros.
The green fees, let's look that up. The green fees are about 500 euros. Yeah. You must take a caddy on top of that.
Yeah, so you got 700, 1,200. You got
Sorry, that's a resident rate too. So you got to be in Ireland for that. 550 euros in 2026. So, and then 120 euros for your caddy on top of tipping your caddy. So it's
1,500 euros
for a round of golf. That it's a cool golf course. It looks beautiful. It's like the Augusta National of Ireland, but like there's
I would do it.
There's not. That's not. I don't know how many golf courses I'd pay that for, but that's not one of them. For sure.
Really interesting. I'm surprised at that.
I think there's only one I would pay that much to play.
Well,
it's probably Augusta. Yeah, like I can't.
But I mean, like within the route, you're not going to get onto Augusta. So is there another course that you would pay?
No,
really interesting. Okay.
Even like Pine Valley, people are saying that. But if you get invited to Pine Valley, you're not paying anything, right? It's just how it is.
Yeah.
There's really nothing I would pay to play that much, unless it was like, okay, you can go play, I don't know, 36 holes or you have the whole day and the whole course to yourself at Pebble Beach.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sure, I'll pay $2,000 for that, but yeah.
All right, everyone, let's help Stefan get to Adare Manor. His booking link for lessons will be below.
There you go. Hey, lessons are cheap at Adare Manor. They're only 105 euros. I'm cheaper than that.
There you go. You want to touch on Jackson Koiven, because this kid is absolutely flushing it.
Yeah, I think it's his fourth win of the season, if I'm not mistaken, third or fourth already. He, according to Data Golf, he has now become, since they could get all the data dating back to 2010, the number one amateur golfer ever during that stretch. John Rahm, now if you go back, there are some better ones. Like Phil might be the best of all time with the amount of wins he won during college. Tiger obviously had a really great record as an amateur, 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call it. Phil stayed his whole time at Arizona State. Tiger, I think, did 2 years at Stanford. But John Rahm also did his whole time at Arizona State. He picked up a ton of wins. Spieth had a ton of wins as an amateur. Cantlay was the other one that, I think Cantlay, a lot of people don't realize how good Cantlay was and how big of a prospect this guy was before, when he first came out on tour, had all those back injuries and really set him back. But Jackson Koiven, I also realized earlier this year, I picked, who was it?
An amateur?
No, former amateur from last year. I picked him for a tournament.
Oh, Luke Clinton.
Luke Clinton. I was saying this guy's going to be on the Ryder Cup next year, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Jackson Koiven.
Oh, really?
I do not think
me and you have both done that in different veins this season.
Do not think Luke Clinton will be on the Ryder Cup next year. I do believe Jackson Koiven will be on the Ryder Cup next year.
Wow.
Next year. I think he will be on the Ryder Cup.
That's a big call. What was I going to say? And I don't know a lot about Jackson Koiven. I've watched. Other than like seeing headlines in the news, he did do a match with a big YouTube guy. He did do a match with Grant Horvat, and given what you're saying here, so the way he swings the driver, you're like, man, this guy is bombing it, and he does. But Grant was talking about his ball speed, and he said, people seem to assume I'm hitting it at like 185. He's like, no, I'm like 175, 178. So even as good as he's playing with how young he is, there's probably some speed gains to be had there as well. Oh,
absolutely. There's muscle to be made. I look at myself at 21. I was a string bee and I probably weighed 130 pounds, right? This guy's probably in the same boat. So he's going to add some muscle. He's probably swinging as fast as his body humanly can.
And he's already qualified for the Tour through PGA Tour U, I think, right?
Like dominated PGA Tour U. It's not even close. So he'll be out there next year. And as I said, I think he's probably, I'll make a bet he wins a PGA Tour tournament this year.
Wow.
Again, we don't know if there will be a fall schedule, but assuming there's a fall schedule, I could see him picking up an early
Who was it was Nick Dunlap the last amateur to win?
Yeah, Nick Dunlap was, and prior to that, I think was Phil.
Okay, wow, that's a long stretch.
Yeah, Nick Dunlap, again, that was like the thing with Nick Dunlap. He picks up this win. He picked up, I think, a second earlier. And
he was on a hot run of form.
Forced into it, and he's talked about the struggles of being out on tour. So I think Jackson's staying a little longer than he could have been out. He could have been on the PGA Tour this year.
Yeah, right? And he said that in that same video that I was saying. He's like, no, I want to see my, you only get. You get one college career, and he's like, I've got the luxury. I've locked up my card. I'm going to use this time and enjoy this time.
Yeah,
in my
enjoy
college
career. When you look back in life, those are some of the best times ever.
100%.
So I hope he's enjoying it. I hope now. It doesn't seem like he's not like the guy's dialed.
Oh yeah, so. Yeah, 100%.
Did you watch Full Swing though? I mentioned it earlier.
Yes,
what was your thoughts?
Yeah, so only 4 episodes. A lot of people criticizing that, but in this world of streaming, where they often release all the episodes at once, I kind of liked that 4-episode block because there's some things where I'm like, I want more episodes, but 4 felt good to me. And also, I'm not going to sit down for an entire day and watch all 8 episodes. Yeah. And so, you're watching 1 or 2 at a time, and then you see your buddy, and they're like, oh, they're having a full swing. You're like, well, God, I haven't even got to that episode yet, man. Yeah. Unlike in the old days where it's like 1 a week and everyone's watching it at the same time. So I thought the 4 episodes was good. I did have and talking about that, if you haven't watched it, I won't do spoilers, but did have a small tear in my eye on the first episode, which was
Rory wins the Masters.
Rory
last year
and
this year. So,
but no, just that whole story, and there were a couple of others. Yeah, I thought it was nothing groundbreaking. It was good entertainment. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I really learned anything. There was obviously it was Ryder Cup. Yeah, there was a really good bit on the Ryder Cup, and I think when you talking about what it means to the Europeans versus the US, I think it's very obvious. And again, they do editing and whatever, so who knows? But from those interviews, you can tell just the way that the Europeans talk about it versus the US guys. It kind of validates what we're saying. But it was good, entertaining.
I actually enjoyed. So I just did the audiobook for Alan Shipnuck. Just did that new book on Rory, and Alan's kind of a cuck, for the lack of better terms. But
he's buddies with your boy Ryan.
Sure. But the book was good. There was a lot of stuff in there about Rory that I like. Rory's always the most open guy out there with the media, and Cole is currently Googling what is a cuck.
Yeah, I just wanted you. I don't know if you wanted to read it out.
Yeah, no, we'll let people. It says a man that is submissive, but Rory's always been the guy that's very open to the media, always talking to the media. And when he wrote this book, Rory's what you don't see behind the scenes is Rory has a very small group, right? And he's kind of tiger in that way. You learn that about him, and there's the reason why Harry never talks, like his caddy, and his dad and those people. They're kind of the only people in Rory's core that you
private.
ever hear from, right? Is that you hear from his dad, and his dad's out there. But yeah, Rory's super private in his personal life. But the golf life, he's very open, and people always talk about his wife and that relationship, and it's like, oh, that's a fake marriage, yada yada. And you get to learn a little bit more. And a lot of people, if you read reviews online, people are like, oh, this made me dislike Rory. And it's like, I actually appreciate him more. It's like, protect the things that matter, and for the stuff that you're trying to grow. The guy's also a genius businessman. The stuff he invested in, they talk about him being an early investor in Whoop. And Whoop was, at the time, had about 1,400 subscribers.
Wow.
Which is nothing. And I think he, bought a 20% equity share.
Yeah.
And I think whatever that must have been worth, but now that equity share is worth like $75 million.
Yeah.
So you got to assume whatever he bought that in at.
It's a pennies,
There's all these different businesses that he's done, all the changes he's made all the time. A lot of cool stuff with, it's really worth the read, but his first couple agents and how they really took advantage of him in these contracts that he made. And he did the math on one, and whatever, I'm paraphrasing, but let's say he made like, I don't know, $100 million on and off the course that year, and they were taking 25 million of it. Like, just insane stuff. And you can read about the lawsuit of one of those and how he ended up buying it out and where that came from, and he wanted to fight it in court. It was very, very interesting. And what I appreciate about Rory, that I've always appreciated about, and it's probably the thing I appreciate about anybody, is people that can change their opinion when they're actually given facts. Right. And Rory flip-flopping. I was like, no, he had an opinion. He was given more information, and they changed his mind based on factual information. There's nothing worse than the people that are like, this is my opinion, and we can go, if you want to get deep into whatever, let's go COVID, for example, and then you get literal doctors going over, and they're just like, that's
their ego doesn't let them say I was wrong.
And as a golf coach, I try to do that all the time, right? It's like, I'm teaching one way. It's like, I want to counter it and look at someone else's method of it. And it's like, okay, is that actually better? And that it was just those little things that make you go, yeah, like I gotta do that with things. Like, I try not to hold super strong opinions because there's no point, right? Especially on subjective things.
Well, I mean, I'm going to give a cliche that you're going to love from your past time at Unnamed Company, but, strong opinions weakly held is a good thing to have, right? You can be strongly opinionated, but like you say, you get new information and, all the stuff that you're talking, people speculating in his marriage and opinions and stuff like that. And, I think, this is one situation, but, after talking with Ryan French and some of the stuff that Ryan said to you offline, I think it's a good lesson that if you're not speaking, either directly to the source or people that have access to the source, you literally have no idea.
No.
You have no idea what's going on. So if you want to speculate, you can speculate. Say it's speculation, but to present facts as when it's otherwise is disingenuous, and you literally have no idea what's going on.
No, but kind of just a full circle is like what I said about Rory is like, those are the people I try to bring into my life, and the people that really just put their foot down. It's like, this is the only way I do it, or the only way I believe. Those aren't the people I like to hang out with, and that might be a little bit of foreshadowing to where we go into the golf trip later on.
Well, let's because I want to get into it. Let's quickly wrap this up because you got a bit here at the end. Just really quickly. Interestingly enough, so there's no Rory this weekend at the Cadillac. So when you look at the scheduling, I saw someone today saying that Rory and Scotty will not, be playing in the same tournament, and no tournaments in between the Masters and the PGA Championship, which I thought was interesting, and spoken about scheduling changes and what they're going to do and everything like that. But this is a problem to me that you don't have the number 1 and 2 best players in the world playing in the same tournament in between majors.
I mean, Rory said it last year. He's like, I'm playing what I want.
Sure.
Right. And, I also, you can get political on who's hosting technically this tournament this week. right? And I don't think that's the case. Rory's played golf with 3 different presidents, I think. I'm sure he's going to make a scene at some point this week. He's going to show up. It's his home track. It's the best golf course in the world, according to him, right? So I don't think that's the case. I think Rory's just like, you know what? Fuck that. That's sick.
Yeah. Oh, no.
From a tour perspective, they're like, no, fuck that. Come play.
Yeah. No. I agree. I'm not saying that Rory's doing anything wrong. It's just, the whole thing that we said with Liv is like, we only get all these guys together 4 times a year now. And now, to a certain extent, we've got, to a lesser degree happening on the PGA Tour. But, I just thought that was an interesting tidbit. I am looking forward to that. I don't know when the last time was that they were at the Blue Monster, but very, very hard course.
Yep.
And we're going to be away this weekend, so we'll have the.
I'm sure
we'll have the phones going up in the car.
Sure, we'll be watching it. It looks real rainy on Saturday.
Yeah.
So if we can't get on the golf course, I think we got a day of just a lot of beers and a lot of golf on the TV. So that's not the worst thing in the world. So there's worse things to do on a bachelor party.
100%. 100%.
I did have a random thought that.
Okay.
So I was
love
watching.
Your random thoughts.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary. It was on the. I think it was the Latter-day Saints, yada, 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 cult, basically. And it was this cult leader.
Where is this going?
And this cult leader basically pretended, like all cult leaders, told everyone he was a prophet and had all these wives.
Oh,
and all
was this one on Netflix?
Yeah.
I watched
the
that too.
4-part doc series.
Oh, man, that was
actually,
wild.
we watched it because you recommended it. We went for dinner last week, had a little date with our wives. And
The False Prophet, it's called. If you want a good documentary,
False Prophet,
it will blow your mind.
So I was watching it, and I was like, who does this remind me of? And on the PGA, like if I had to give this guy turn him into a PGA Tour player, who would it be? And I thought, if Bryson DeChambeau wasn't good at golf, he'd be a cult leader.
As soon as we start getting a bunch of viewers, you're not going to be able to say this shit anymore.
I'll keep saying it because. Here's my thought, right? If this guy wasn't good at golf, no one his personality is a nightmare. Everything is like this.
Well,
PR
people either
thing.
love him or hate him.
Yeah, but if you know him or ever had any interaction,
I think I see what you're getting to. Yeah, I just kind of proved your point.
Yeah, no one really likes him. The people that do are being either paid or they're being the lights are on. Like, oh, I'm around a really good golfer.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he has any true friends. If he did, half the shit he posts on TikTok or whatever wouldn't get up there because people would be like, what are you doing? Like if I posted half that shit, like my friends wouldn't even talk to me. Yeah. And I would be to like 10 people, not a million. It just made me think that, yeah, he's a cult leader in his eyes. Like he just wants people to love him and he'll do anything. If he even has to lie and say he's a false prophet. Yeah. That was my random thought.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like you whenever there's Bryson DeChambeau involved, you are going to have strong opinions.
But until I've been proven wrong.
No. I agree.
I have not. Yeah. And I said, I got my own sources, unnamed sources that have all said, no, this guy's the same guy you met.
Well, we know all the bullshit about unnamed sources, Stefan.
It is bullshit, but
it was fun because there was another bit on Bryson. Because last week at Live Mexico, he withdrew, and then he was like, "What is this shit?" He was in a whatever it is, and I don't watch a lot of Barstool stuff, but I saw a clip with Big Cat on what is it? Pardon my take.
Yeah.
And he actually said something exactly that we said not that long ago. He was like, Bryson was, he was this guy and, wasn't really likable. And then he was like, obviously he got some sort of brand PR consultant person, whatever, and his stock just went like this, right? And he was doing the YouTube thing and everyone's like, oh, Bryson's changed, all this stuff. And then he just said, well, obviously things are going so well, and he just fired that PR person because now it's just back to the same old shit.
Same old shit.
And I was like, don't often agree with a lot of Barstool stuff, but I was like, I think that's bang on.
Yeah, it's once you pull out the flowers, there's still manure under there. Yeah. But that was just a random thought I had. And let's get to some picks for the week.
Yeah,
we fucked up last week.
We did fuck up last week.
We said we were going to pick LPGA majors, and again, we had a weird week. We probably would have remembered if we were in person together.
Yeah. Well, you did. You literally had we had a death in the family. You had your dog's
my
eye get
dog's
taken
got
out.
one eye. One's more important than the other.
So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of grace. But so we'll pick the Cadillac Championship. But you had a good suggestion. We'll do a pick for the LPGA Tour and Mayakoba this week as well.
And you've played there, so you should have full understanding who's going to play well this week.
Accuracy off the tee.
Yeah. So we're going to figure that out. But I think I have first pick at the Blue Monster this week.
You do.
Is that not correct? So Scotty Scheffler's obviously out for me. I have used him a bunch. So I don't know where to go this week. I'm going to defer.
What, you're going to give me first pick?
I'm going to defer.
Oh, wow. Okay. I actually can't remember who my picks were because I had two lined up in case you picked my guy. Well, this is embarrassing. Should I cut this bit out? No, I had a good. Oh, I did have a good pick. This could go either way. It's a signature event, so Scotty is very tempting. However, I only have Scotty left once, and we've still got 3 majors to go, so I'm not going to use that pick. Rory's not in the field. I'm going with a guy who started off hot this year.
Siwoo.
No, I think I've had my 3 Siwoo picks. I'm going Chris Goddard.
Okay.
Cool, you got to be a bomber at the Blue Monster. You also need to keep it in play. I think Chris Goddard's he's a bit of a dog, and I think he's going to get it done.
I'm looking forward to this guy winning this week. He always puts on a show. He's going to have a great interview after. You're going to see a ton of emotion. He's probably my favorite player to watch on the PGA Tour for that reason, and that's Cameron Young.
I was just
he's going to be so happy. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Cam Young was my second pick, so I don't know why you deferred.
I was like, I'm looking at Colin Morikawa. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Because he's playing well.
He's been very impressive considering that, like, at the Masters, what did he come at the Masters? He finished inside the top 10, right? And they said that he was basically just throwing his arms because he couldn't turn his back. He had a good showing last week or the week after at the RBC Heritage. He had a good showing. So, yeah, who knows? Okay, should we go LPGA? So I get first pick.
Sure, you can go first pick this week.
Okay. Yeah. And look, I'll be straight up. We're just going to set context. We are doing the 4 LPGA majors. We're going to do picks. But unlike the regular picks where you get 3, if you pick someone once, you only get them
They're
once.
done. Yeah.
So, Nelly would be an obvious one this week, but to use her on a non-major wouldn't really make sense. So I'm going Jin Hee Im.
Yeah, I mean, playing unbelievable right now. Just looking at the field. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take Nelly. I'm not going to waste a Nelly sitting right there. Doesn't look like Hannah Green's in the field.
No,
she's playing really well.
There's a couple of names missing, but I guess it's kind of to be expected the week after a major.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren Coughlin's not in the field. She's playing really well this year as well. There's some interesting names, like Christina Kim's somehow in the field. It's not Natalie Gulbis is playing. Oh my goodness, God!
So you're saying names that I don't even know.
Elena Sharp's in the field. Like this is like, remember when I go deep down the field in some of the like alternate events? There's some deep down the field names in here. Like, when is the last time Gulbis has even played an event is crazy to me. Danielle Kang used to be a player. I don't know what the hell she is anymore. She's in the field because she has won this tournament. So those are past winners.
Oh, past winners of this tournament.
This tournament. Elena Sharp's, basically retired at this point. Sue O's in the field. Who knows what the hell she's doing.
There's some, they're kind of scratching the barrel with this one a little bit.
It's not a deep field by the looks of things. I'm just going through some of the names. Yeah. There's a lot of turnover, obviously, on the LPGA Tour. Actually, I saw a tweet. Ryan O'Toole was deep in the mix on right onto Sunday. I mean, she was 5 or 6 back, but I think she was second going into Sunday. And Ryan French tweeted out about it, and someone was like, about basically how different the LPGA Tour is, and that because there isn't that money, you don't usually see grinders still out there, and they're almost turning 40. And some asshat basically was like, well, women want to have kids, and that's why.
I did see that. I saw that. Yeah.
Why they come up, and I just replied, like, she's gay. She's gay. Like maybe that's like she's married to a woman. Like I don't know if you know a lot. Yeah, there are other ways to have children, but like maybe maybe her wife's having the children. Like maybe some people don't want fucking kids, right? Like so it's just like stupid shit like that. No, there's some good names in the field, but yeah, seeing Gulbis in the like that is. So you obviously don't know who Natalie Gulbis is, but back in kind of the mid 2000s, she really became a household name. She was actually in the Tiger Woods video game back in the day.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when she last played. She started 4 times this year. She hasn't made a cut. She played 2 times the year before. Hasn't made a cut. 5 times the year before. Didn't make a cut.
Yeah.
She didn't make a cut in 2022. Last cut made was in 2021. And according to that, she made $0 there.
You want to change your pick then?
No, I don't. But that's interesting to see Natalie Gulbis. Gulbis was a player back in the day for sure. She only won once on tour, but yeah, she was definitely a fan favorite of a lot of men from the Tiger Woods video game, probably. Just weird thing. And as I said, Danielle Kang in the field. Danielle Kang for a while was, number 1 player in the world.
Yes.
So damn good. And really just kind of fallen off the earth. I don't know if she's kind of semi-retired either now, which again, that very common to happen. But yeah, she has 6 career wins, and now she's getting basically past champion starts out on the LPGA.
Talking about people retired, what's up with Lexi Thompson? She was literally playing.
She's retired 5 times, man.
But she's supposedly actively retired right now.
Yeah, I mean that happens all the time on the LPGA. I joke, and I've said it before on here, but other pods, like basically if you're on a driving range on the LPGA in July and August, every other person on the range is talking about how this probably their last year.
Yeah.
And then every other
They just
75% of them are back next year, because it's like when your whole life's golf, you're 30 years old, you're 33 years old, and your whole life's golf. It's like, well, what do I do now? Do I go teach golf? Well, then you go and do that, and you're like, oh, this isn't nearly as fun as what I was doing before.
Then you come back.
So people get used to that traveling circus.
Yeah.
So,
they just want to have kids, man.
They just want to have kids. That's all it is. They just want to have kids. They just want to have kids.
So let's move on to. You got your so going back to what you said at the beginning. So these are you've organized a few golf trips. Obviously, the one that we did in Ireland last year was probably the biggest one. But this is basically your top 5 things that sort of need to be there to make a really good golf trip.
Yeah, these are the things 5 to 1 that I think that I look at from an importance standpoint.
Yeah.
So we'll go 5 to 1, right? From 1 being the most important.
Yeah.
So 5 for me is accommodations and travel, right?
Yeah.
Is like, how smooth is that? Like when you get there, right? A great golf trip doesn't need these things. The rest, like the rest of the trip is the other 4 things are there, and that doesn't necessarily matter. Like as long as everyone has a bed, basically, that's fine. We're not sharing a bed.
Yeah.
We don't have 2 layover flights. Even 1 layover flight's a goddamn nightmare with golf clubs. But that's 5, right? It's just a very simple thing. Now, am I saying really great accommodations aren't awesome? But you're on a golf trip. You don't like, how often are you really in the accommodation?
Yeah, I like when it comes to accommodation and travel, I am all for I wouldn't say I'm definitely not a value traveler, but what I am is, and again, going back, using Ireland as an example, for all of those, we had, obviously smooth check-in. Everyone had like a decent bed. No one was on a couch or like whatever it is. And that's really the extent of my requirements for accommodation.
Do I have my own bed?
Yeah. No, literally that. Because like you said, and especially like we did, we were up in the morning, we're at the golf course all day, we had beers afterwards, we come back and we go to bed. Like it's you don't need a frickin'. So I'm all for that. And on the point about travel, I'm not a guy who, to your point about layovers,
I'm not a guy who's like, oh, we can save a couple of $100 by doing this. Like, if you're like, hey, this flight's $1,000, this one's $1,400, but it doesn't have a layover. I'm $1,400 every single time.
Chances of your golf bag being there are $400 more likely.
Yeah, but I just, in the grand scheme, and I guess it's all relative, right? Like when we went to Ireland, what did we spend? It was, including spending money and everything, it was probably the better part of
$5,000,
$5,000 to $6,000, right? And so in my mind, I'm like, a lot of people look at it, they're like, oh, well, like, if you save $600, that's 10%. I don't give a shit about 10%.
Yeah.
It's $600. If the $600 for my enjoyment and relaxation and all of that is worth it to me.
And I get it. This is a subjective list. For some people, it's like, you know what? I want it to be as cheap as possible.
Yeah,
cool.
I'll take a layover to save $200.
That's fine. That's your trip.
Yeah,
but that's not for me. What's important?
Yeah.
And we cut some corners in Ireland. Like we had a one room where it was literally a room in, I don't know what you would call that, a hotel-ish.
Where was that one? Before
and
we
all
played
four
Lahinch?
of us were in there after.
After Lahinch.
It was just all 4 beds in one room.
Yeah, but but again, that's fine.
We were in there. We got into the hotel at 9:50.
Yeah.
I think all of us had showers and we were beat after that day. Went straight to bed. So it didn't really
I'm going to
matter.
go as far to say I definitely do not need my own room.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, it depends on who you're traveling with, but you'd hope that, and I think you've got this later on, the people that you're traveling with are the people that you like spending time with. So as long as it's that, I definitely do not need my own room.
So 4 is more important than 5 when I'm traveling somewhere, especially when I'm going wherever, somewhere different, outside of Canada. Let's just leave it at outside of Canada.
Yeah.
I think meals are more important than the travel accommodation. I don't need a fancy meal. I just want a good meal. I want a place, I always want something local, right? I remember we went to, I went on a trip to Arizona a few years back. Actually, I went in the second last week of February 2020.
Yeah.
So, and then the week after I went to Mexico. And then when I came home, you know what happened.
Yeah.
But I remember going on that trip and like me and a buddy, we were like, oh, let's go to that restaurant. And then you have the one picky eater in the group. It's like, oh, I don't know. Let's go to this. I've heard of Twin Peaks before. We'll go there. I'm gluten-free. Right. Or like whatever. And it's
Sorry,
like,
Faz.
Yeah, I don't want to go to a bunch of chain. I want to go where the locals are going. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's, it's nowadays there's so many great apps. You can find great restaurants around the world. It doesn't need to be, I'm not a Michelin star guy by any means. That's not my type of meal. But as long as it's good, right? Good local food, let's go there. I don't, even if it's like, let's say again, Arizona, Phoenix, like, oh, there's a great chicken wing place here, that Mom and Pa's chicken wing place, or a good, cool vibe pub. Like, I think of a meal I had in Clifton Forge, West Virginia, when I was down there caddying the Greenbrier, and me and another caddy, guys for Cam Davis, we went there. We both missed the cut. We went there. We had burgers but like the
You and Cam Davis missed the cut?
Cam Davis missed the cut. Me and his caddy were caddying for guys that missed the cut. We didn't miss the cut. They did. We would have made the cut with them, but they missed the cut. Mm-hmm. If any players are listening, I'm joking. It's a team. But it was a small little place. And what they did was really cool. Was across the whole building was local currency from wherever you were, and you signed it. So I signed a Canadian $5 bill. And we put it up on the wall, and the burger was fine, but it was cool, just the vibe of the place. So when I say meals, it's almost less the actual food and more where we're going, the vibe of that, and doing that kind of. You don't need everybody to be there. I remember you and I one night in Ireland. I think just you and I went out for a drink one night. It was like, that was awesome. Right? Yeah. The other boys didn't want to. I don't really care. Right. But that type of vibe, that's my fourth of the vibe.
I don't really disagree. I would actually, for me, I would reverse 4 and 5.
Okay.
So we're kind of going for the same vibes here. But if you tell me, hey, we can book this flight instead of this flight, it's $300 more. And we can stay at this accommodation because it's 20 minutes closer. It's a little bit more money. I'm like, let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When it comes to food, if someone's like, we can go to this place, but it's a half-hour wait, or we can go to this other place, not quite as good, but like we'll get straight in. I'm like, let's go straight in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
But again, I'm there for. I'm not there because it's like they have some crazy steak or like whatever it is. I'm there for the vibes. I'm there like. And again, like we did in Ireland, we're like,
we just kind of walked locally, stumbled across something, looked something up, and you went there and ate and drank like a local. And the quality of food for me, I'm probably the least fussy eater you'll meet. I'm like,
now when we're in Ireland, like there's not a meal that I look back, I was like, that was fucking good. It was Irish food. Like there was good food, but I'm not like thinking like, man,
but again, we did, and that was perfect. We did a lot of pubs and kind of quick restaurants. And
so based on that information, I actually think I agree with you. I think meals are fine.
Okay, we're going the other way.
I'm Rory McIlroy in this, and now I actually think accommodations are 4 because
I'm gonna pay a little bit more to get something better for the accommodations.
Yeah, and just I liked what you said about like, oh, I'm a little bit closer here, or like if I am staying here, I can walk to this area we want to hang out,
whatever it is.
So that is more important because if you don't have that, then you don't have the meals.
Yeah, and like I say, I got a buddy who's always like, oh, this breakfast place is amazing, but it's like a 45-minute drive and they don't take reservations. And when you get there, you got to stand outside for half an hour. I'm like, nope.
It's breakfast.
Nope. Absolutely not. Like I'm hungry. I will just go somewhere where there's food.
The fruit is the fruit.
Yeah.
The eggs are the eggs. Oh, but they're free range eggs. Like I hate to break it to you. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And maybe that makes me a bad person.
Yeah.
But there's worse things.
So I'm 1 for 1 then. Or 1 and 0. I got you to reverse 4 and 5. But
3 for me, and this might be controversial, is location is 3. I think we could do a great week-long golf trip without leaving our car in Ontario. Yep. We could go anywhere, and it might not be the best golf course in the world, but you could have the time of your life.
Yep.
Now, location, so I think when I get to 1 and 2, you'll understand, but I think the next 2, you could have a great location, and without the next 2, it would be bad. Like you could go to Bandon Dunes with the worst group in the world, and you're not going to look back at it as a great experience. Yep. You might look back at 4 hours of your day, 5 hours a day on the golf course is really, really cool. But if you're with a bad group. So I think there's certain spots where, like I might take a more of a risk to go to that location than another one with a certain group. But I don't think it's the most important thing.
So let me put this to you. You can ignore cost for a second.
Sure.
Just imagine it's fully paid for. You can go, these are, let's say they're 8-person trips.
Sure.
You can go to Scotland with 6 guys who are, 5 or 6 guys who are wieners, whatever.
Yeah.
But you got 1 or 2 guys. And it's not a guarantee that you'll always be playing with those 1 or 2 guys, right? Or you can go to, I don't know, Belleville, 45 minutes from here, and do a stay and play. But all 8 guys, top-notch quality. You have a great time no matter what. Which one are you choosing?
I'll take Belleville.
Yeah.
I'll go. And that's more what golf probably is to me, is like, I like those experiences, but the experiences aren't the experiences without the people you're with.
Yeah, totally
And
agree.
that sounds cheesy as hell.
No, it is.
But when you think of, anytime people go, okay, you have one last round of golf to play, who are you playing it with?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear people, I'll go Tiger Woods and Sam Snead and, Natalie Gulbis. And for you, Gabby Golf Girl, right? But for me, it would be like, no, like, give me my dad, give me my uncle, and give me whoever else, like, one of, yourself, whoever it is, the people that I, love to enjoy that time with. Cause it's like, it's your last round of golf. I don't give a fuck what Tiger has to tell me my last round of golf. I'm dying after.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I think about. And that's in that kind of, that situation, right? And we're going on a trip to Scotland, a huge group of people. There's about 40 people going in there. There's going to be some guys that after golf, and we're probably never playing with them, we're going to have one dinner, and after that, you're like, I can't go for that guy again. Like, we've been on those golf trips where we have that one guy that is almost ruining the trip for everybody.
So if you're watching this, we're going to be doing a Scotland breakdown, and you will be name and shamed.
Oh, absolutely. So location is 3. Now, it is more important than the other 2. Obviously,
I agree. I think honestly, I think we're on the same page here. And when I ask you that question about Belleville with the good guys, Scotland with the shitty guys, it's also not. Oh God, I'm really going for the tech terms here. It's not a zero-sum game, right? Like if you if someone's like, oh, we've got this trip, we're going to Scotland, I'm going to be like, no, I'll do that another time with people that I will enjoy. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. It's, and again, like you say, if you're spending, thousands of dollars to do a trip like that, the golf can only do so much, right? And you're going to come back and kind of be like, man, I dropped $7 or $8 grand and the group was shit.
Well, like when I think back to our trip to Ireland, the golf in a lot of ways becomes secondary, right? There's moments that happen on the golf course that, we laugh about. None of them are a shot. None of them are a score. None of them are who won this match, who won that match. Like I look back at, driving 4 hours in the van and like everyone just picking a random song to play.
Those are all the stories I remember.
Yeah.
Like the van trips, the narrow roads, the sheep crossing,
like getting out of the van,
Faz throwing his bag, like just random shit like that.
Yeah, random stuff like that. And yeah, I know on our last round you made like a shit ton of birdies down the stretch, but like I don't know. I couldn't tell you the holes.
Yeah, exactly.
I could barely tell you what I did on those holes, right? And I remember
you were on the other hole.
Like when we think of Cairn, right? Like I've talked about that being one of my favorite golf experiences of my life.
I don't remember what I shot that day.
Yeah, exactly. But why was that great? Well, A, the weather was crazy, so we kind of had to just be in a good mood because hey, let's just take it for what it is.
Yeah.
B, we had a great caddy who
best caddy.
Who from I don't know a number he gave me, a club he gave me that was the right club. I don't know anything about that. It was just the experience of him being there and like, writing down places for us to go drink that night, which we did. I remember that night out drinking where we we walk into a pub and there's no one sitting there, but we're like, you know what, that band is rocking. Someone should be watching them. And then everybody's there.
It was packed afterwards. Yeah.
And like those are I got chills thinking about. Like that's the experience I'm thinking of. And yes, location played a part in a lot of that because a lot of that was the culture of Ireland, right? Yeah. But these things can happen in Rochester, New York, Buffalo. You can go to Idaho. You can go to wherever, right? These things can happen, but you got to go seek them out. Versus, if you're just going to a place like Bandon Dunes, where I'm sure you have a great experience, but it's all around the golf.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same personally.
No, I completely agree. And I think when you pick a location, it's I think one of and this goes for travel in general, not just golf trips, but I love traveling because we experience stuff in Ireland that we don't experience here, right? Whether it was the type of beer or the pub. Or one of the things I remember Ireland is like, no matter what town you're in, no matter what bar you're at, people are drinking till 1 o'clock in the morning every day of the week.
And music's playing. Someone's got
live music.
Some sort of instrument.
And it's like it's a different experience. So completely agree with this one. I think it's in a good spot, sort of middle of the pack.
Okay. Yeah. My second one, and this is kind of, might be one, I don't think you need this before you have the three below. And that is the planning of the trip. Mm-hmm. You need someone that is willing to take the reins. And I'm not trying to pump my tires by putting this here, but I've gone on trips where someone else, whatever it is, has done it and like bunch of stuff's mixing, or like you don't have tee times booked ahead of time. You're trying to book on, I don't know, does Golf Now still exist? I remember being in Arizona. We had 2 tee times booked leading up to it, the first day and the last day, and everything else in between. We basically had to book that day. Yeah. Right? Makes things a lot more difficult, right? And it's like, okay, where do you want to go? Oh, I don't want to go there. That's $30 more than this. Yada, yada, yada. And this is gonna be a hint to where I'm going. So tee times booked in advance, where you're staying booked in advance. Is the car booked? Is all these things booked? So when you get there, you've put all the work ahead of time, and it's not work when you're there. It's like, it's here. Here's the car I got. Now, when we got to Ireland, we had the wrong car, right?
We figured it out.
That might be on me. That might be on them. Who's to say, right? But we had the right group where it was like, okay, so it's going to be an extra $200 per guy.
For the whole
and
week.
Now we have a van and it's going to be comfortable. Let's go with it, right? Yep. So, we don't need to dive too deep, but without without planning, you don't have accommodations in you don't have meals in great locations because you didn't pick those right accommodations, and you didn't have the tee times at that great location. Like if you just go to Scotland right now and you're not getting tee times.
No,
you might you're not getting the courses you want.
Yeah.
Right? And
I think like in terms of organization, your tee times and where you're playing, obviously the accommodations and the travel. So, car. I think like as long as you have those three things, and it's like our tee time is at this location at this time, and we are staying at this accommodation, we check in, we check out, and then we've got this drive. The rest kind of works itself out, and where you eat and other stuff that you do, right? But again, like you say, it's a golf trip. You should, when I go on a golf trip, again, whether it's Belleville or whether it's Scotland, I want like day 1, tee time this, day 2, tee time this, day 3, and at each of the things, this is our accommodation. And I know in Ireland, in Scotland, we're going to have, I guess, a little bit more luxury given that like we're sort of staying in the same place. And
we just sit down, someone's going to pick us up. It's going to be awesome.
But then in Ireland, it was a lot more logistics, right? Because, okay, we're here for 2 days, we've got these 2 courses, then we drive for 2.5 hours, we're here.
Yeah.
But just knowing that in advance and being like, okay, I know tomorrow we've got a 2-hour drive, makes it so much less stressful as opposed to flying by the seat of your pants. Oh, what should we do? Where should we go? It actually allows you to enjoy the rest of it so much more.
And some people like that. Some people like to just be like, I'm here. I have nothing booked. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. That's not my kind of trip.
That's not going to work for me.
No, that's not my kind of trip.
That's not, like, my brain won't work around that.
Yeah.
I can try.
And I think some of those people sort of enjoy the
chaos.
They enjoy it, and they enjoy the hunt. Like, I'm going to go convince this guy to give us a tee time. You know? And I'm like, I'm not about that at all.
No, I'm not either. Yeah. Number 1, it's who are you going with?
Yeah.
Right? It's clearly,
and we alluded to this.
Yeah, it's clearly who you're going with.
Mm-hmm.
And, you should have saw that one coming. So I've gone on trips where people don't want to do anything outside of golf. You're kind of like that way. It's like, I remember we were driving down to La Hinch. It's like, oh, the Cliffs of Moher over there. And you're like, it's a cliff. I've seen a cliff.
That's just quickly. That's less for me. It's less about doing anything outside of golf. I'm not a tourist.
Yeah.
So like I went out with my buddy Tully out to BC.
Yeah.
And we did golf and surfing and a bunch of stuff. And he's like, oh, like, do you want to go see this thing? I'm just like, no. I'm like, dude, if you want to go, let's go. He's like, no, I'm kind of good. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm there to play golf. I'm just not a tourist.
Totally fair. So what I've done those trips, they're cool. Right. And I've done the trips where we do other stuff. Those are cool too. But I'm going to break down I'm assuming there's 8 people going on this trip. Now, I think 8 is the perfect number if you are expanding past 4. And you're going somewhere far. If you're going with 12, it's got to be within a driving distance, or you have to basically create pods where it's like, these are 4 guys, they're figuring out, these are 4 guys, they figured out, and these are 4 guys, they figured out.
And especially if you're like in Ireland, if you're going to Dublin, if you got 3 cars, well, now we've got to find parking, and they're parked 600 meters away, and like whatever it is.
So basically, it's got to be in 4s, and each 4 has to have basically a captain. And I might sound like an insane person. I can already hear my buddies being like, this is you being type A, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's because if that doesn't happen, then so much shit gets missed. It just doesn't work. So you've
worked in HR and,
allegedly,
helping companies perform. Nothing gets done when you have design by committee.
Yeah.
You have to have someone calling the shots.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. But I got 8 of what I call the perfect blend.
Okay,
kind of like
personas.
This is the personas of the 8 different golfers that I think make it perfect. And a lot of these people can have multiples. You can be in both of these, but I think you got to fit within.
You got to have this mix.
You got to fit within. So we already talked about planning. You need to have the planner. You need to have somebody who's like, hey, this is where tee time is. This time we have to leave. This is where we're going. This is what you owe. You did a really good job in Ireland. You had an app where it was like, okay, so-and-so bought this meal, so-and-so bought this meal, we played for this here, yada, yada, and it came out in the end. It was like, okay, you owe this person 60, you owe this person 200, you owe this person 100. Done, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a planner. Again, you can fit multiple categories. Without that, the rest doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The second one, and there's no particular here, the down for anything guy.
Yeah.
That is the best guy on a golf trip. It's like, hey, I know we're heading back to the hotel room, but I'm kind of down to go in that one bar right there.
Yeah.
And it looks grimy, and the guy's like, I'm fucking in.
Yeah.
Right? That guy's awesome on a golf trip. Because when you're trying to be, you're in a different place, you're like, I want to try something. You need that guy to come almost encourage you. And I say guy, woman, whoever. I'm going to say guy, person. Yeah. Right? You need that. Any 100%. So far?
And I think, so you definitely need that one guy who does this. But I also think that everyone in your group needs to have a small element of this.
Yes.
And the reason I say this is, like you said in Ireland, it's like, man, like they fucked up the car. We're literally not going to be able to get, like, we need to get the van. It's an extra. And everyone's just kind of like, yeah, like it's an extra 150 euros. But yeah, like we're good.
Yeah.
We could go here for dinner or here for dinner. And the guy's like, I'm all good, you know? Because like you say, if you're on a trip with 4 guys and 3 pick one thing and the other guy's like, no, I really need to, whatever it is, whether it's a meal or a beer or whatever, everyone needs to have just that little bit of flexibility.
You need to have that flexibility.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 3, I'm calling it the hidden gems guy. This is a guy that's looking up in advance of, I looked up this little place, or I found this little spot, or, hey, I know if we, something as small as, hey, like, you're playing this course, go around this corner and there's a great view of just these little details that, like, they clearly are just sitting there on their phone late at night and they're excited about the trip and they're just finding, or, I heard the pot pie in this place is cool. Like, that's cool. And then you need the down to earth guy to be like, let's go, right? That's a cool guy.
It's a good combo.
It's a cool combo for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
We're golfing, so you need the guy that's handling all the games, all the bets, all of that. The scorecards are written out. Here's the strokes. Here's where it is. Here's where we're playing. Here's at the end who's owing money.
Yeah.
Right? You need that guy. That guy's a great guy to have.
And if you haven't gathered this, if you ever played with Stefan, he will not play for nothing.
No,
you have to play for something.
I don't care if it's $1. Usually it's minimum's a beer. Whatever it is. But it's competition.
There'll be something on the line.
I don't care about my own score. I really don't. So I'd rather play for something. I don't care about losing either. Like, it's just that I want to be in it. So you need that.
Well, and like you say, you could be match play. You could be playing like shit, but you're like, we're actually all square after 16. I got some motivation to do something on these last 2 holes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number 5 is the person who keeps energy high. So like the life of the party guy.
Yeah.
Golf trips, you get a week long in. You need that guy that's going to push you to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? It's so easy. I can think of a couple nights, especially our second last night in Ireland, where none of us were that guy, right? And then we were in a small, cool little town. We could hear people outside, and none of us were like, should we go?
Yeah.
Right? You need the guy that's like, we're here. When is the next time? I don't even know that town that we were in. When's the next time we're here? You need that guy that's pushing you.
And I think people that have this characteristic, they
are
can,
alcoholics.
Yeah, that too. No, but they can sort of, because you can tell when someone is, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, like Faz one night in Ireland, he had a stomach bug and and if you're the life of the party guy, you can recognize that and be like, hey, he needs a night in bed. He's happy just being in bed.
Yep.
He's not going to hold it against us if we go out, right? But the life of the party guy also can detect when people are teetering.
Yes.
When people are teetering, like, that guy's saying no, but I know if I just keep going, he's going to come,
My buddy Matt, his wife-to-be, she always has, like, we were drinking at his place. You were there.
Yeah.
She always has, I've heard her say before, like, we shouldn't have another drink, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I love that line because it's like, fuck. Yeah, now we have to.
And I agree. I love that line because if everyone's out, everyone's like, man, I'm done. When you say that, you're like, okay, everyone's done. But if you got some teeterers, you can see them. You can see them hesitate. And they're like,
the thing about the life of the party guy is like, usually that guy, when he's great, it's like, okay, none of you are going. I'm just going.
Yeah.
And then he'll walk out the door and you're like,
I'm going to go.
Fuck. Fuck. Yeah. Now he's going to join the IRA.
We just sound like a couple of alcoholics now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be have to be drinking though. It could
it's
be
just
anything.
The vibe of going there.
Exactly.
Number 6 is just the guy that gets along with everyone. Now you get a group of 8, right? You need one guy that kind of knows everybody.
Yeah,
Right. And
yeah.
in a group of 8, there's, you're going to have close.
Group of 4, it's pretty easy.
4 is easy,
yeah.
but you're going to have, group of 8 where, you might know 2 guys really well or 5 guys really well, but you need that guy that brings everyone together. Because if not, and I was said in that group of 12, for example, right, you have those 4 pods. Well, it's easy to stay within your group, right? Well, that guy can kind of bring everyone together. Oh, we're going into our cabin, we're playing euchre, whatever it is, right? You need that guy that's pushing everyone together. And a group of 4 said there's blends of 2 and 2 or whatever it is, and you end up just merging together, obviously. But yeah, in a group of 8 or 8 or more, you need one of those guys, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, again, going back to Ireland, I think we're pretty lucky. Like I would say that the group of 4 that we had to Ireland, we're all pretty different in our own right. We have different interests, different things. But I would argue that all 4 of us we've got an element of this. You know, you probably got it the least, and not that you can't get along with everyone, but when you don't want to, it's not that you don't want to get along with someone, but when you're like, that guy's an asshole, you're just like, I'm not, I'm done.
I don't. We've talked about on this podcast before. I do not have the ability to fake it with somebody. I really do not have the ability.
Yeah.
If I'm being paid in like a lesson or whatever, that's my job. That is different.
Oh, so you coach a bunch of people that you don't like?
If you had to
throw you under the bus.
If you had to be around everyone you liked, right? But yeah, there's definitely people where I've sent you this before. I'm not an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. And what I mean by that is like an extrovert being around people energizes them. It doesn't matter who it is.
Well, there's an ambivert.
Yeah.
And it's also not it's a scale, right?
Like, it's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
On the spectrum.
Yeah, you're on the spectrum.
Yeah. So for me, certain people energize me, right? Like I've come here before and had no energy, nothing. And just chatting with you, like I leave and I'm energetic, I'm happy and right. And then there's other people, if I had to be within a room with them one-on-one, like I'd rather taste the sweet barrel of a gun, right? Like Jesus. I just can't do it, right? And it's just who, it is who, you actually said that at dinner the other night. You're like, why are some people like that? You're like that sometimes. Like, I don't know. I wish I wasn't.
Like what? Or what?
Just like, can be short, I guess.
Oh yeah. But I mean like.
But it's not, I'm only like that with certain people. Like what rare are you seeing me where I'm fully short with everybody?
No, and that's why it was. I mean, what have we known each other a few years now? And it was surprising to me the first time I saw you like that, because I was like, I guess thankfully you've never been in that situation with me, and I was like, oh yeah, when he does it, he doesn't fuck around when he's not into it.
But I don't want
which is a good trait though, because you don't want to give your energy where you're not going to get it back.
So much, exactly. Yeah. So that was a little rant on me, a little psychology about me. But yes, generally I do get along with everybody, but when I don't, then you're out. Like,
yeah.
And there's a reason. I do trust people too early. Yeah. And you start up here, and
we're going early trauma in life now.
Like no, but you always start up here, and then if the battery drains, it's one of those real slow old iPhone chargers.
It doesn't,
like the new ones where it like shows like 55 minutes and it's to 100%. No, it's like years. Yeah, it's real slow.
Yeah.
This one. I got to give you credit. You're really good at this. The photo video guy. I'm terrible at taking photos on a trip. Maybe it's this adage of like, I just want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
But then after you're like, I wish I had photos. You need the guy that's out there taking photos, taking videos. And the key thing about this guy is that those things are within the group, right? Yeah. There's a lot of people where they're, you're on the dance floor and the post on there like, their Instagram stories almost had Facebook stories.
Yeah.
Right? That sucks, right? Yeah. We don't want that. But yeah, like, oh, look at, he was out there, having shots, whatever, with, these random locals or whatever. Yeah. Like, here's a great view of the course. You got to, you need that guy because not everyone thinks to do it.
Yeah. I think with the photos and the video, I think there's 2 important things to me. One, what you said is very important, where you can't be on your phone or your camera, whatever it is, to the point that you're not actually absorbing the experience. That's the first important thing. And the second important thing,
the most important on the golf course, but just in general as well, is that you can't be the guy that's like, what's the word I'm looking for? That really awkwardly tries to organize a photo or a video. Like, can you imagine if like, you're turning up on a tee box and you're starting to think about like what you're going to hit and someone goes, oh, hey, like, stand over there and get a photo. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like let us take our tee shots and then get something as we're walking.
Yeah.
Or, like if I got a shot of you actually taking a shot, you probably didn't even know that I'm doing it because, and I think that's really, and that adds to other people's experience because if they constantly feel like, oh, I'm posing for this photo, like it's terrible. So those are the two most important things to me. And because like you say, I think it is, there's something to be said. I'm not the type of person that does a bunch of Instagram stories and all this kind of stuff, but to just sort of have that, in 10 years time, and I'll look at on my phone, I'll be like, oh man, do you remember that? Like, I think that's cool.
We got to go through all that and put like a montage.
Yeah,
together
we've said that. We've said that several episodes ago, and I've got it all sitting there. And I mean, this weekend coming up, I'll probably do something, and then Scotland as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And the last guy, and then I'm going to get to the worst guys on trip, is the overpacker. And now the overpacker in a lot of people's minds is like they have way too much stuff. It takes up too much space. What I don't mean that, especially on a golf trip, you got to pack tight. You don't have to pack light. You have to pack tight.
Yeah.
Right. And biggest thing of advice is use your golf travel bag to put a ton of shit in it and pay your overcharge fee instead of creating a bigger bag somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
But this guy has everything. Oh, I don't have Tylenol. I don't have toothpaste, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's always the guy that underpacks.
Yeah.
There's always a guy. If you can have the guy that has everything,
I
that's
have
awesome.
7 boxes of golf balls.
Yeah, everything, right? Like that guy's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's my perfect blend. Do you think anyone's missing?
No, this is a very good list. I can't argue anyone that's missing, but I think something you said at the start is you're not necessarily going to have one guy that fits into each cat. You're gonna have a blend of things. Yeah. I think the single most important thing on a golf trip is that you have guys that are, I'm trying to think of a better word, but I can't, that are flexible. And what I mean by flexibility, like you say, it's kind of like, oh, like we could go to this course, but man, this course is, a bucket list or whatever. It's $50 more. And people are just like, yo, yep, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Like again, in the context of you spending $7 or $8 like what I think that's, at the end of the day, most of the time it comes down to money. And like I say, if I'm spending several $1,000s, you can almost guarantee any time that something's like, oh, it's an extra $40 or $50, even $100, I'm like, boom, let's do it, And I think that flexibility, and again, the same guys who are like, oh, but I really want to eat at that fancy restaurant. Everyone's like, dude, no one else is down for that. They're just like, okay, whatever. That is the most important thing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's a privilege. Not everyone can do that, but
of course.
Do the golf trip within that where you can do that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like I will always respect people who are like, dude, I'm so far over, but I can't keep saying yes. But then again, like if you got the other guys who are flexible, then you find something that works for that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So yeah, I'm not saying you have to spend ungodly amounts of money, but the guy who's the penny counter, who's like, oh well, like for $20 more, it's an issue. It's like, dude, you dropped $8,000 coming here.
Yeah, like oh, park over there. It's $6 cheaper, and I'll walk the 28 minutes. Like
no.
I got top 3 worst
guys
on the trip. Number 1 is the moody one. The person that's, you never know what mood they're going to be in. They're pissy. They're just, they're not, again, I don't want to guess who you're going to be tomorrow. We're on a golf trip across the world. You're moody on the golf trip.
I'll stick my hand up. I'm this guy between like hole 6 and 15.
Yeah, but that's the golf course. That's 3 hours of the day. I'll walk on the other side of the fairway. Or I'll just laugh at you.
I would like to say, I do kind of like to pride myself as like, we walk off the 18th green and I'm like, whatever. But we've spoken about my mood in the golf course. We're trying to work on it.
We're playing a match on Thursday, and it'll be code of conduct.
Yeah.
It's going to be code of conduct match.
I failed at code of conduct on Sunday.
Were you playing it, though?
No, I said I was going to, but no one held me to account. So.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So the moody person.
Yeah,
you
moody
can't
guy.
have a moody. Yeah. Like you're in a cool place. Just enjoy it, and things happen. You're allowed to be moody. Just go do it on your own time. Don't be moody around other people.
No, but
it's also the unpredictability.
That's
like if you get to the hotel, the guy's like, guys, I'm so tired. Like, I'm just going to go lie down for a bit. Yeah, all good,
Cool.
But if they're doing these ones and you don't know why or anything like that, 100%. Yeah.
When you're away for a week, you need to be silence, right? And maybe that's me. Again, this is my list, but I remember there was times we had long drives in the van. It was just quiet. Just listening to music, it was quiet, and people were just drinking the beer and just checking in on family.
We were not drinking and driving. That's not what we're saying.
But in Ireland, you can.
The passengers
can drink.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we were.
I did all the driving. So
I drove the first couple days, and then you committed like, this is my role. Hey, and that
was maybe we should have the driver.
The driver is key when you have that. But the person that just can't sit in silence. Just can't shut up. Like something on the TV, whatever it is, and you're just trying to just enjoy a few minutes. You're gonna get annoyed of each other's company. So just enjoy some silence. And we've all been around the people that just cannot shut up. I've probably been it many times.
I mean, the flip side of this, I would almost add the opposite of this guy into someone that's important.
Yeah.
And it goes for everyone in the group. Because like you say, you spoke about the trips in the van where we were, we'd have a podcast going or, something, and Faz and Adam were riffing off, music stuff. And I wasn't involved in the conversation, but I was enjoying listening to it, right? At the same time, we had trips where we're like, we put on a playlist or a podcast and we're just going to sit and listen. And same in the accommodation, right?
Yep.
And I think it comes back to the group that you're with. You need to be in a group that all feels comfortable enough to be like, we're just going to sit here for an hour and going to chill out. We don't need to talk. Yeah.
The last one is the FaceTime person that is constantly FaceTiming someone back home, right? It's like,
no, that's a joke. You're not. You're not. No, that was
definitely
a joke.
Not me. That is the most offensive thing you ever said about me. That's fine. Just I don't need to talk to your wife. They don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need to talk to your kids. They don't want to talk. My kids don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, say hi.
Yeah.
They're like, who the fuck's that guy?
Yeah.
Right?
Go into your room.
Go in the bathroom. Go wherever. Go for a walk. Do what you got to do. Right? You want to check in with family. You're on the other side of the world at somewhere, wherever. But like, you're in the van. It's not time for FaceTime.
Yeah.
Right? And I get it. Maybe something's come up. Cool. Do what you got to do. But I don't need to. I don't want to sit inside. Like if I'm enjoying myself and now I got to shut up and be the quiet guy that, because you have to have a conversation right now because it's bedtime. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Anyone you're missing on the worst. Obviously you kind of talk about the guy that's fighting over $5 is that's always.
Yeah. The penny pinchers are tough, but also I wouldn't say that they're the worst, because if the penny pinchers are,
they do have value. They do have value.
They do have value. They do. But by the same accord, if the penny pinchers are happy to go and do their own thing, like if they're by themselves or if there's two penny pinchers and they go off to do something, like doesn't really affect the rest of us, right? Maybe if there's a group of 4 and 2 of them are penny pinchers and you're like, guys, come on, like, we all just want to hang out. But yeah, I at the end of the day, I say the same thing again. I think everyone's just like, you got to have people that aren't go with the flow people are going to be the worst, because like you said, planning is one of the most important things, and you have everything planned out. As much as you plan, I know for a fact in Scotland, as much as you guys are planning this, in Ireland, as much as you plan, something comes up where there's traffic or the restaurant's closed or the round of golf goes long. Like something is going to happen, and with the guy or the person who freaks out because things aren't on schedule or something unexpected, you got to go with the flow.
And I guess when you're booking the trip, you got to know. You got to pick that blend beforehand, right? You got to know. What? You got to pick that right blend of people beforehand.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
If you know someone's moody, then don't even fucking invite them.
Yeah.
Just because you need one more, don't ruin the trip because you just need one more.
Yeah, 100%. This is a really good list. I can't disagree. I honestly don't think I would add anything. I think probably the one thing, if we're talking about golf trips specifically, probably the one thing that I would add is, if you're spending money to go on a golf trip, again, whether it's an hour's drive away or a flight around the world, I think that the quality of the golf courses do absolutely matter.
Absolutely. You're not going to go all the way over there and just play.
Yeah, but I guess that's kind of a given. Like, it's probably the reason you're doing the trip in the first place anyway. Yeah.
Well, that was it.
That was really good. So, I mean, I didn't disagree with you on much, but I did get you to change, 4 and 5. So,
change my opinion.
There you go. All right. That's a wrap. And as we mentioned, this weekend we're
should we go to a party?
Should we go to a Sandbaggers live at Wooden Sticks?
I actually think we should.
I'll bring the gear in case.
I think you got to bring the gear. And I don't know how much will be usable, but I think maybe we'll put it behind a paywall. Sign up to our OnlyFans, and that's where you can find the uncut.
Patreon might be more. Yeah. There might be some NS.
No, but I think that's a hilarious idea.
NSFW. Yeah, because what we could have, right? Like, we could be sitting there and we'll have all the guys around there. We could have like expert comments from, so.
What about we do a video? I don't know if you can do this, like a cart cam.
Do you have a GoPro?
No.
No.
You got this thing. I don't know.
I'm not taking that on a
duct tape it. But yeah,
I might be buying a GoPro
I think we should.
This week. Yeah,
I think we should do something.
We'll do something. For context, so I got married last year, but it was a surprise. So we're doing post-wedding bachelor and bachelorette parties. Mine is this weekend. And a Wooden Sticks in Uxbridge, Ontario. And if you don't know Wooden Sticks, people call them replica holes. I want to make that they are not replicas; they are inspired by. So we have a bunch of holes that are inspired by,
too.
Augusta and Carnoustie. I think my favorite hole is the postage stamp.
Yeah, great.
That's really, really good. So thoroughly looking forward to that. As Steph said, it's not going to be warm, but hey, we're going to make do. So.
Chat about it next week?
Yeah, we'll chat about it next week. And then there might be there might be some bonus coverage in there.
That will be awesome.
If we get the equipment out. But thanks for tuning in for episode 21. Keep helping us out with the likes and subscribes. And if I survive this weekend, we will see you next week for episode 22. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.